Here we have a relatively new device from DFRobot. It's a 2-inch IPS LCD screen, which unlike a lot of other screens, actually has, if you just wait for me to turn it over, actually has some intelligence on the back. There's an ESP32, there's some memory so you can store your own pictures. There's a USB-C connector for uploading your own pictures, and there's a gravity, if you can see it under the tape, which is the DFRobot's version of an I2C connector, sometimes called stemmer. The advantage of having the intelligence on the back is that the controlling device, in this case it's simply a microbit version 2, only has to send very simple commands and doesn't have to have much memory, because all the pictures, data, etc. is actually stored on the screen itself. Here I've got the microbit version 2 connected to another device by DFRobot, which is a simple sort of keypad calculator device, which I'm using in this case to do a sort of simple guessing game, which I'll show on the next part of the video. So here's a simple sort of number guessing game that I've quickly programmed. So as it says, press the A key to begin. And I need to guess a number between 0 to 9 by pushing the appropriate number on the keypad. If the guess is wrong, it'll give me a clue by telling me if it's too high or too low. And if the guess is right, it shows a little animation. So I think we'll start with the number 5 and see what happens. So it buzzed and turned the number 5 key red, which told me it was the wrong number. There was actually a clue on the screen, but I wasn't looking, so we'll try again. So the number was red, which means the number I guess was too high. So let's try a slightly lower number. Let's try the number 2. It's still red, which means it's too high. So let's try the number 1. Still too high. So the only number on the keypad lower in value than number 1 is the number 0. Let's hope it's the right one. So when you pick the correct number, it flashes all the lights on the keypad, changes the background colour on the screen, does a silly little animation, and finally it shows a picture of somebody well known to this channel. And here's the actual code that controls the game. Although initially it looks fairly complicated, it is very simple. I've simply divided the instructions into a series of blocks or functions, each of which does a specific thing. So for instance, here we have the on start block, which every time you turn the machine on, it clears the display, sets the background colour, and tells or displays a message telling people it's a game, and press the A key to continue. When you press the A key, the code checks that the background colour is correct again. Again, it makes sure the screen is clear, turns off all the lights on the keypad, and then displays the message, enter your number on the keypad. This is the series of blocks which actually do most of the heavy work, although they're very simple. Basically, when you press a key on the keypad, it lights the relative button up green. It then compares the number you've entered with the random number chosen by the machine. As you see, if it's correct, it goes to one set of code. If it's too low, it goes to another set. If it's too high, it goes to another set. So for instance, if it's too high, it changes the button colour to red. It sounds a little buzzer. It very briefly displays a message on the screen saying too high, and then waits for the next key press. If it's correct, it does a little animation on the keypad showing all the colours. It then calls another set of code, which I've just called reward, which then changes the background colour on the screen a few times, prints a little icon on the screen at random positions and random rotation, and then displays a little picture at the end of someone well known to this channel.